it's time for me to give up. Feel it's time. Got a picture of you beside me. Got your lipstick mark still on your coffee cup. Oh yeah. Got a fist of pure emotion. Got a head of shattered dreams. Gotta leave it all behind. Whatever I said, whatever I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Want you back, want you back, want you back for good. Whenever I'm wrong, just tell me the song and I'll sing it. You'll be round and understood. Want you back, want you back. See, I want you back for good.
Hello, my wonderful viewers. This is Desmond Gray of Gallant Integrated Media. And the title of the episode of today is The First Enemy of Your Progress. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please help us do subscribe. And press the notification bell so whenever we upload video or we are live on air, you will be alerted. Please do like what we do and drop your comments to help us improve on what we are doing. For no man is an island. And I want to appeal as well, please, this video might be a little bit long. I want to advise you to watch to the end. So back to the business. The first enemy of your progress. This presentation will not be complete without identifying what enemy means and what progress means. So we can be able to, separate them and match them when necessary. So enemy here is defined as a thing that harms or weakens something. A thing that harms or weakens something. And progress is defined as, this is what my dictionary told me. Progress is defined as forward or onward movement towards a destination. So when we get this understanding, it will now help us to discuss the matter, the first enemy of your progress. Investigation has proved that man always suffers selective myopia and selective hyperopia. Myopia means short-sightedness and hyperopia means long-sightedness. In most cases, you see people sighting long, looking like they can predict the future. And in most cases, you see the same person looking like he's so naive of the future. There are certain things we do consciously or unconsciously that has a way of providing an unnecessary clog to the wheel of our progress, even us or that of others. But we don't know when we do all these things. At times, we don't even know that we do them. Or we don't even agree that it goes to that extent of providing that clog. But we do them, and they provide that clog. You see, behind every great character, a man of strong will and industry, a great personality, a man of discipline, there's this conjugation of certain factors, which include, I may not go straight to or go around all the factors, but I'm going to enumerate some. The eyes as a factor, the ears, the mouth, and the mind. What you see, that's what the eyes represent. What you crave to see, what you watch, what you crave to watch. The ear, what you hear, what you crave to hear. And the mouth, what you say. How you say them, when do you say them? And what effect do they have towards your progress? Then you bring all these things down now to the mind, which produces the mindset. Because what you see has a way of influencing your mindset. What you hear has a way of influencing your mindset, and what you talk, what you speak about has a way of influencing your mindset. Most often than not, we don't know about all this. Education doesn't help us to outgrow this. Illiteracy doesn't either. You see, There are people that, honestly speaking, if you look at the way they reason, the way they think at times, the kind of things they say, the kind of things they do, the kind of things that appeals to them, you begin to ask yourself, what else could be an enemy to this man other than him to himself? I may digress to left, right, and center. I may connote certain relics and consult several premises to buttress my point. But we must identify who is the enemy of progress. The first one, the first enemy your progress records. You might be thinking, is that your uncle? Is that your sister? Is this person or that person? Hell no. Going by the little things I have said, now you will agree with me that the first enemy of your progress, and this is for those who are not progressing, because for those who are progressing, they have a different mindset. For those who are not progressing, the first enemy of your progress is no other person but you. And I'm going to tell you why it is you, should in case you know or you don't know. But I'm sure you will know. Let's take for instance, a student goes in for exam in an exam hall. Anybody can be a student, whether young or old. And in that exam, you are presented with 11 questions. And number one question being compulsory, and it carries 40%. Then out of the rest 10, you are asked to answer 3. And each of these 3 carries 20%. So the 3 now put together is 60% plus the number one question that is compulsory, 40%, that's 100%, and which gives you the A, the A you would want to have. Do you know it demands wisdom and character? It demands smartness and understanding and discipline to know that the first question to write or the first questions to answer here is not that compulsory one. It's the ones you know. If out of these 10 questions you are asked to answer 3 and you are able to produce good answer to these 3 questions, you've made 20% into 3, which is 60%, which gives you C. Then for attempting number one question, for attempting only, you get 10%, plus the 60% that you already have in the kitty, which gives you now 70%, and that your C is stabilized. It gives you a stabilized C, which is part of flying colors. But do you know that there are people that will go to this exam hall and concentrate on that number one question because it's compulsory? Let's assume that you have 1 hour or 1.5 hours to answer all these questions or to sit for that exam. And you spend 1 hour, 20 minutes or 1 hour on answering number one question. Assuming you end up getting that number one question correct and the time elapses, that means you have gone out with 40%, which does not even underscore pass. This is how some of us lives our lives. Misplaced priority. This is how some of us live our life. Going for what adds no color to what we do. Going for what doesn't have any connectivity with our destination. There are people, let's say a lady for instance, if you go to their house or her house, the kind of clothes you bring out from this lady's wardrobe, the kind of clothes, the kind of shoes and handbags, you get 4 ladies of her stature, of her height, and of her shape, of her size. You split these clothes into 5 and give it to these 5 different ladies. You discover that these ladies might, in the next 4 years, wouldn't have any recourse to go for buy any other clothes or shoes or handbags. But these are what one person is using. And this same person doesn't have one dime anywhere in the bank. This person doesn't have any property, doesn't have any land, whether house or land or any share or any investment anywhere. All her investment is on her wardrobe. And this same person is looking for an enemy of progress. I'm not against fashion, but when you're crazy about it, when you misplace your priority with passion, with fashion, trust me, you are the first enemy of your progress. The same thing happens to men. There are some men, the kind of watches they have, the kind of shoes they have, the kind of clothes they wear, and they parade themselves as doing well. No investment anywhere, no money anywhere, no nothing anywhere. This is a misplaced priority. And you are the first enemy of your progress, if you ask me. You look at certain couples. The wife, every month, she share her money to her family members. The husband will share his own to his family members. The two couples are supposed to be one, running like a kind of competition among themselves, running an uncoordinated charity that exposes the family to, economic vulnerability. And the two will be looking for who is the enemy of their progress. You see people, the aroma of progress disgusts them. Every discussion about progress disgusts them. And they want to progress. How do you attract what you don't believe in? How do you attract what does not appeal to your conscience or to your psyche? How do you attract it? You see, people, the news they always listen are all news of negativity. People failing, people who invested and their money was not recouped, people who get married, their marriage did not work, people who went to school and could not get a job, people who do this and nothing is working in their life. This is what this person always thinks. This is what this person always reflects. It's not that he or she does not see people who are progressing, but he always tries to denigrate progress and progressives. No matter how you try to sponge this person's mind, you always want to be committed in this line of reasoning. There are people like that, so many people like that. You have all the certificates in this world. You don't have a job. There's no job experience. You have your first degree, you have your master's, you even have your PhD. But there's no job. Tell them, link them with someone who has the job to give them, or someone who has a link to give them job. They wouldn't want to go. Because they wouldn't want that person to take the glory. After all, he's the one that gave me job. Tomorrow he start bragging, he's the one that gave me job. He's the one that made me to get a job. This is what is holding this person. Nothing else. He has the certificate, which is like in the line of hyperopia. But to go to this person that will link you up with this job, he will not go. Because he wouldn't want the person to brag as being the person that connected him with the job. And this same person will be looking for who is the enemy of his progress. Who else would be the enemy of the progress of this person, if not him to himself? Everybody is a suspect. There are people like that. Everybody is a suspect. Bring a business idea, they will not buy it because it's either you want to defraud them or you already set people out there who will defraud them. This is the mindset. But the same person, you see this person in the league and company of people that has this mindset of everybody is a suspect. These people that has this mindset of mourning and groaning every day. Looks like the whole world is against them. Looks like they and the entire world is an enemy. Looks like they're running a battle with the rest of the world. There are people like that. And the same people will be looking for who is the enemy of their progress. In the first place, do you know exactly what progress means? You don't even know, because if you know that you are the first enemy of your progress. By not identifying with the right people, by not charting the right course, by not going to the right destination, by not setting a good focal point. You are the first enemy of your progress, because if you don't stand against yourself, trust me, no one is going to stand against you. You spend all your whole time encouraging them, motivating them, even spending your money to push them through. The moment they register the first bad result, oh my God, they said it. You know they will fail. This will be the story. You know they will fail. That's why you brought them, to just make them shame. They will not go back, to their ugly shelf, to their shelf of poverty and abjectness. See, education does not remove this thing. This is a mindset that a lot of people carry. It's even more among the educated. Trust me, with all the certificates, he hasn't got job experience. He's looking for a particular job. He hasn't got any link to that job. You will see the person that even they graduate they graduated at the same time with it, who started as even a receptionist in an office, has risen to a manager. This same person still doesn't have any job because he wouldn't want to take that job of a receptionist as to build his job experience. Then when finally that same job he is looking for comes, he will not have, you have the certificate, but will not have the job experience to back it up, and he will lose it. And he'll tell you that I said it. These are what people conjure into their mind. You know, there are certain people, their life is like this. A whole lot of people, everything, they wouldn't even speak greatness to what they want to do. They won't even encourage themselves. Bring them to us for us to talk to them as motivational speakers. They will, you're talking to yourself. They know everything already. Oh, stop that, down what I've had that already. Nothing makes sense to them. They don't even produce the sense. They don't generate ideas. They don't cross-fertilize it. They don't buy ideas. They don't get ideas. They're just there. They're just there. If they see a woman progressing, oh, the whole man in this world has slept with them. And this thing goes a long way to even affect the wife if he's a man, or the husband if he's a woman. Because this is what they're always going to give to you. You know, we all know that as a man thinking, so is he. You can't think a different thing and be a different thing. Different thing cannot be appealing to you and different thing will be working for you. No, it's the same thing that appeals to you, the same thing that you watch, is the same thing that you listen to, the same thing that motivates you, the same thing that triggers your, tickles your fancy. The same thing works for you. If negativity is what drives you, is what tickles your fancy, everything about you is going to be negative and nothing works. You'll be looking for the enemy of your progress. Who else could be other than you? Who else? You don't think right. You don't get your decisions right because you don't think right. You don't listen right. You don't consult right. You don't watch right. It's always gonna be one negative thinking, one negative reasoning, one negative way of seeing things. Nothing. They can never see things the way the entire world is seeing it. They can never see it. Progress and evolution does not exist as far as they are concerned. It doesn't. Even change that is pertinent, that is permanent, doesn't even exist around them. They are just there. Stories of mourning. This is all what they are. This is all what they exhibit. This is all what comes out from them. That if you are close to them, trust me, if you don't guard yourself, you're going to lose it. And most unfortunately, some of these people find themselves in the wrong environment at the same time. You see, when we talk about the things that provides clock to your progress, environment is one of them. Because if you find yourself in the wrong environment, it's going to affect your progression. If you find yourself in the wrong company, it's going to affect your progression. And until you're able to identify this, some of us will identify this, some of us will see all these things playing out, but they would not want to be decisive. And they'll be looking for the enemy of their progress. If you for any reason, like runs contrary to their own understanding, they'll be seeing you as that enemy of progress. Or you happen to be these people that are not conservative with the truth. You always tell people the truth. Oh my God, you are the greatest enemy of their progress. Whereas the same person is the enemy and the real enemy of his own progress. So you better change your thinking. You better change the way you reason. You better begin to think positivity. You better begin to see progress. You better begin to visualize progress. You better begin to identify with the right people and the right cause. For there is no other way to it other than doing that right thing and at all the right times. And that will be all for today. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and bye for now.